Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do my 11-month VSG update. But before we get into it, if you like this kind of content, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on this video. It really helps my channel out. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Coming up, I'm going to be doing my big 1-year post-op video, so you don't want to miss that. And now let's get into this video. All right, so I actually just recorded this video, got almost all the way done, and then I realized my microphone was not on my camera. So here we are starting over. Hopefully I don't miss anything. I do have all of my notes here. I don't think I deleted anything yet. Yeah, all right, should be good. So anyways, hi, how are you? It's been a bit since I've recorded down here in my basement, but I thought I would come back down here today. I do like filming in my car, but I thought I would bring it back down here. So going forward, expect maybe a little bit of both. We'll kind of see. But anyways, let's get on with the video and talk about what we want to talk about here, which is the update, of course. And just to remind you, I did have my vertical sleeve gastrectomy or my weight loss surgery done on June 17th, 2019. Today, what is today's date? Today is June 13th, 2020. So I really could almost call this my 1-year update, but we're going to call it my 11-month update just because there was quite a, as I knock over my light here almost, but because there was a lot of stuff that happened that I want to talk about, and I will do a 1-year update coming up very soon. But anyways, the biggest thing that has happened in the last month or so, month and a half almost, since I last made an update video, I finally hit 100 pounds lost. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. It finally happened on May 30th. Huge deal. I was so excited. I still am so excited. I still can hardly believe that I actually did it, because going into this journey, I never, ever, ever expected to lose 100 pounds. Would it have been nice? Did I kind of always want to? Yes, but I never ever thought that I could do that. That is just such an accomplishment for me. It's just, I don't know, a little bit of a pat on the back, because I'm really, really proud of myself about just this whole journey. I think I've done really well with this whole thing so far. I mean, obviously, I've got a long time to go on this journey, but first year, almost all the way done. I think I've done a really good job. And actually, at this point now, I've now lost 105 pounds. I mean, so insane, right? I mean, that's even more insane than 100 pounds. Because the way that I lose weight, I've talked about this a little bit before. I'll lose weight for a few days, every day I'll lose a decent amount, and then I won't lose anything for 4, maybe even 5 weeks, I think, at this point. Then I'll go through another little quick spurt of a few days where I lose quite a bit, then I won't lose again, then I'll lose a little bit, then I won't lose again. So it's just kind of this weird thing that my body's been doing for a really long time at this point. So I'm used to it. It's a little frustrating still every single day, because I do still weigh myself every single day. When I step on for 4 weeks in a row, nothing is changing, even though I'm eating everything that I should be eating and doing everything that I should be doing, and the scale still isn't moving. But then I'll have that little 3 or 4, maybe 5-day window where I do lose quite a bit every single day. So it's weird, but it is what it is. There's nothing really I don't think that I can do about it. But so anyways, I hit the 100 pounds on the 30th, and then every day since then I lost a little bit more even, which is just so insane. So I'm not expecting to lose any more for quite a while now. So I'm just going to be right at where I'm at. I think I'm now 131. So I think I'll be bouncing around between 132, 131 for the next month or so, which is just fine with me. I think that's awesome. I think that's a pretty healthy weight for me. If I'm being honest, I would love to weigh 125 pounds. We'll see if I ever end up getting there. I mean, that's really not that far away, so I probably will, but it might take a couple of months for me to get there. For me, whatever reason, I always had that number in my mind that was the perfect weight, which sounds so silly and derogatory now that I'm saying it out loud, but I don't know. That number has always just kind of been stuck in my head as what I would love to weigh. Never, like I said, in a million years did I think that when I started this journey that I would actually be close to that. So if I do end up getting there, the next part would be maintenance, which is very scary to me. I do have a doctor's appointment coming up in the next couple of weeks. I do just have like my regular 1-year doctor's visit, and then I'm going to have my last class. Not sure if it's going to be on Zoom or if it's going to be actually in person yet. I haven't heard either way, so we'll see what happens there. But I would assume and really hope at that meeting that they're going to talk about maintenance going forward, because I feel at a certain point, whether it's when I hit 125 pounds or even, a little bit before that, right about now, I do feel like I need to add some more calories in because I don't want to keep losing. I don't feel like I need to get down to 110 pounds. And I think the way that I'm going, I probably could eventually get down that far. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't want to get to be that small. So I do feel like I need to start incorporating probably more snacks into my diet, though of course once I go to the class, hopefully they'll talk about how to do it and what to do and everything, because I don't think I need to add anything else to my meals because I feel that would be too much at one time. So just, going off of my logic, I just need to start eating a little bit more frequently through the day. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, I won't do anything until I do talk with them and figure out what their suggestion is and go from there. But at one point, I do need to start eating a little bit more so that I don't get down to be too skinny, which who would have thought that I would ever be in the same sentence as too skinny or almost too skinny, because I don't think I am at this point, but I could get there if I continue the way that I'm continuing. So we don't want that to happen. All right, sorry, just going through my notes here. And I found a new medicine that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which sounds really strange, but it's not an NSAID. It is a pain reliever that I wanted to mention because if you have been following my journey, you've heard about how I used to love NSAIDs, which is anything like Advil, aspirin, Excedrin, those kind of medicines, because I've always experienced headaches and those have always worked really well for me. Tylenol, which is still okay for me to take, really kind of does squat or very close to squat. So back in, October or something, my surgeon prescribed me Celebrex, which is an NSAID, little bit different of a kind of NSAID. It's easier on your stomach, which is why you can't take traditional NSAIDs like Advil because they can cause ulcers and all sorts of nasty stuff in your tiny little stomach. So I have not taken anything like that, but I have found something just over the counter that works really, really well, and I wanted to let you guys know about it. And it is tension headache medicine. There we go. I don't know why I've never taken this before. I've never really noticed it before, but I found it at the store, and I gotta say, it works so well. So basically, it's just acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, and caffeine. Put those two things together, it works so well. And I actually did know this because when I was pregnant with my son, I remember before I had ever gone to the doctor or anything, so I was maybe 4 or 6 weeks pregnant, I remember being really, really sick, and one day I had the worst headache ever, and I knew, even though I hadn't gone to the doctor, that I couldn't take Advil at that time, so I was taking Tylenol, but that did nothing. And at that point, I had given up pop or soda for like 6 months prior, but I drank a Coke that night, and it worked so well. My headache was gone when I combined the Tylenol with the Coke. So I should have thought about this sooner, but I didn't. I mean, I guess I just didn't know that this medicine, combining those two things, was even a thing. I will have it linked down below. It's amazing. It's so, so good. It works just like Advil or Excedrin for me, and Excedrin does have caffeine in it. Excedrin is acetaminophen, caffeine, and aspirin, so this just took out the one thing that I can't have, and it works just like it would with it. So it's perfect. Like I said, I will have it linked down below. Just keep in mind that it does have caffeine in it. My surgeon said that I could have caffeine starting at 6 months. So go with whatever your doctor says is okay for you on your plan. So just kind of play it safe that way. But as far as I believe, it's just fine for me to take because I can have caffeine, and I've always been able to have acetaminophen. Oh, so something slightly concerning has been happening to me the last few weeks, and it's only happened a handful of times, 2, maybe 3 times, and that is a feeling of low blood sugar. So before I started this whole weight loss surgery journey, if I had gone a period of time without eating for a few hours, sometimes I would experience feelings of low blood sugar, and that was for me like lightheadedness, kind of brain fog, just very lethargic feeling like on all of my limbs and everything. I don't know, you just kind of feel almost like outer worldly, like you feel kind of empty almost. I know I'm probably not doing a very good job of describing it, but if you've ever had low blood sugar, you know what I'm talking about. It's an odd sensation. It's a very scary sensation to feel. At least for me, it always has been. And I get a little bit shaky with it too. So before, if that would ever happen to me, I would just go ahead and eat some carbs, and 20 minutes later, I would feel fine. But I don't know what to do now, like if I'm getting this sensation. And I will say the times that I've felt it recently, it hasn't been as strong as when I had experienced it in the past. And I honestly just don't know how to go about handling it. And I'm also kind of concerned that maybe it's diabetes, which, I mean, that was kind of also part of the reason why I got the surgery, was to avoid getting type 2 diabetes in the future, because I did have gestational diabetes when I was pregnant with my daughter, and that gave me an elevated risk of developing type 2 later on in my life. So this was part of the reason why I wanted to have the surgery, was to very much decrease that risk. So really, really hoping that that is not it. But we'll see. I think I will bring it up with my surgeon next week, or in the next couple weeks whenever I go and see him. If you've ever experienced low blood sugar after having weight loss surgery, let me know how you handle it and what you do, because should I just go ahead and eat a chocolate bar or an apple? I don't eat fruit, so maybe if I ate an apple or a handful of chips or something, that would probably make me feel better, like physically, like as far as that low blood sugar goes. But I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very comfortable eating the way that I'm eating currently. I don't really want to mess that up, but I guess also low blood sugar is not good. So I don't know. Like I said, I will talk with my doctor about it, and I did just want to mention that in this video. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little strange. All right. So in my last video, my 10-month update, I talked about how I felt like my posture was really bad. I kind of think that it's starting to self-correct. Is that totally insane? I don't know. But let me go ahead and show you, because I'm standing up here. So, I mean, obviously you don't have anything to compare it to because I haven't shown you this angle before. But this is just kind of me standing. Sorry, I still kind of have a double chin, but this is, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is me just kind of standing, and I do feel like I have a little bit of a hump kind of back here, a little bump. You can see that a little bit. I feel like it's definitely gotten smaller though since the last time I mentioned that, which was just, you know, a little over a month ago. So I do feel like my shoulders have pulled back. I think maybe after I had mentioned that in this video, I was a little bit more self-conscious about it and started to stand up a little bit straighter. So that maybe is part of it, but I do feel too that my my breasts are significantly smaller. So I feel that maybe I'm just kind of shifting my center of gravity backwards a little bit, which would be nice. Like my back and shoulders don't hurt or anything. So I don't know, but I do definitely feel that the whole posture thing is not nearly as big of a deal as it was even just like a month and a half ago. Also in that last video, I talked about how I was really struggling with staying on my schedule because I didn't want to eat all afternoon. And now going forward, I might be eating a little bit more, you know, going into maintenance mode. But as far as I'm standing right now, I'm not struggling with that nearly as much. I'm not like constantly looking at the clock, figuring out when it's going to be 2:15 so that I can have my afternoon snack. And I think part of it, like I mentioned in that video too, is because we're not completely on quarantine right now. Our state has opened up a little bit, so I have been able to take my kids out grocery shopping, and we were getting in a really good routine of going on lots of walks and just doing other stuff around the house. Not that I wasn't doing stuff around the house before, of course I was, but just because we have gotten out a little bit more and we're not completely locked down, I feel that that is relieving that stress on me, I guess. I don't even know if it would be considered stress, but just that constant like eating it at my brain, like you just want to eat, you just want to get it to be to that time that you can eat. It's just a lot easier now. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not like constantly obsessing over it like I was. And then I think the very last thing that I want to talk about, sorry, my hair is like going totally crazy today. It's got a mind of its own. I desperately need a haircut. That's another thing. I desperately need one. But the last thing that I wanted to touch on today is my periods, and they are really no better than they've been before, which is just so so disappointing. If you've listened to some of my past updates where I've talked about them, they've always been long. Ever since I had my IUD put in 2017, they've always been about 14 days long. And then after I had my surgery, they became very heavy for a part of that 14 days. Not every single day, thankfully, but for a part of that 14 days, they have been very heavy, and they continue to be very heavy. I have gotten a medication from my OBGYN, tranexamic acid or something like that, and that does help, but I just don't want to deal with that anymore. Like, the heavy part of my period was, like, I don't know, 5-6 days ago, and I was in the bathroom and I was just almost in tears. Like, I'm a year out. Why am I still reacting this way? Like, I don't understand. I have an IUD. My periods should not be as heavy as they are. I'm so frustrated. And I know I've talked about this in the past, and a few of you have mentioned ablations. I think that's what they're called. And I actually did bring that up with my doctor back when I first got my IUD, because my period was so heavy back then as well, before I had it put in. And she would not do one on me. She said that I was too young. Maybe now, since it has been a few years, next time I go, I'll bring it up again, because I would love to have that done. I don't plan on having any more children, and I know once you have one, you cannot have any more children. It would be very dangerous for you to do so. Yeah, that just sounds like such a good thing to me. Basically, if you're not familiar, they go in, it's a surgery, I believe, and they kind of, this is very graphic, but they kind of scrape the inside of your uterus, and get rid of all of the lining of your uterus, which in turn somehow makes your periods lighter. But like I said, it's only for women who do not want to have any more children. My doctor said that she doesn't usually do them until like 45, and I'm definitely not 45. So, but we'll see, because of this whole situation. I don't know, maybe she would make an exception for me. So I don't know, but I just wanted to let you guys know that still, here we are, almost a year out, my periods are still as crazy as ever. So I think that's everything that I have to update you guys on right now. Again, I am almost a year out, so I will have another video hopefully coming up soon. I will wait until after my my 12-month doctor's appointment, which is in like a couple weeks. So the update won't be out right after I have my 1-year surgiversary, but it'll be out hopefully not too long after that. But thank you guys so much for watching today. I truly appreciate it. Again, I would also really appreciate a thumbs up on this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future uploads. We can also connect on Instagram. I will have my link listed down below. I post on there all the time, and I'm way better about commenting back and like corresponding with people on my Instagram than I am on YouTube. I don't know, it's just easier for me. I'm on Instagram quite a bit. But of course, feel free to leave any comments down below here as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!